Hi everybody, it's Andrew Hutchings with you here. Still not a doctor, still never giving medical advice. If it seems like I am, I'm just consolidating medical information, putting it in one place, along with my opinion, probably. So I recently made a video about the two main ways of lowering blood pressure. And those are by using vasodilators to give the blood more space, or by using diuretics to decrease the amount of blood that's in that same space. Oftentimes they're used together, decrease the volume of the blood and increase the amount of space it has. So there's actually, I don't know why I didn't think of this, but I guess it's not as main of a thing, and it's kind of like more indirect, and it's also often a side effect, so to speak, of other medications that cause vasodilation, for example. But another big way to lower blood pressure is by decreasing how hard or how frequent the heart is pumping. So like lowering your beats per minute and having like less strong pumps. Because if your heart's like every time it does a pump, you're surging your blood pressure really high every time your blood pumps through your arteries and veins and everything. But if your heart's just like not to like a bad degree of weakness, but just not so intense, then you just get little spikes every time it beats. And if your heart beats less often, that also can help lower blood pressure. So yeah, that's a third big way, by targeting the heart itself. Medications that do this would be like, once again, we find ourselves talking about morphine. Great medication if you have high blood pressure. I don't care what anyone says, it doesn't change reality. It doesn't change the fact that if you have high blood pressure, morphine is like your best friend. Morphine, not only will it dilate your blood vessels to give it more space, but it's going to reduce the intensity of your heart beating, and it's going to slow down your heart rate. Another medication that can do that, or class of medications, are benzodiazepines, like Valium, Xanax, clonazepam, Klonopin. But they're not going to cause quite as much vasodilation as a good opiate. Just the opiates, the ones that are really good for this, they have a lot of histamine response. They really get things big and open. The benzodiazepines are going to relax the blood vessels, allow them to open more, just probably not to as great of a degree as an opiate. Other medications that are probably more likely to be prescribed, but not necessarily better or worse, are beta blockers. At the end of the day, what they do is basically the same as a benzodiazepine. They just do it a little bit differently. So yeah, they decrease the heart rate and the intensity of the beating. Then you've got calcium channel blockers that kind of do the same thing, but they seem, it's not just that they seem, they don't, in my opinion, they don't seem as good of medications to take, and that is backed up by them causing more things to get screwed up. Even beta blockers, they seem like they could be great selective medications. Some of them have been around for quite a while, but benzodiazepines are well tolerated, so why not stick to something that has like zero toxicity, is well tolerated by everybody, and so perhaps your doctor would want to give you beta blockers over benzodiazepines because the logic would be, oh, benzos are going to make you tired and out of it. And well, a beta blocker is going to do kind of the same thing, just without making you relax in the same kind of way. So, I mean, benzodiazepines are definitely not recreational drugs, even though they are treated as such. They are the last thing from recreational. Imagine all of your excitement you have for something and just gets killed. No more. Does that sound recreational to you? It does not to me. They could be thought of recreational in a sense if you have a ton of anxiety all the time, and by getting rid of that anxiety, bringing you down to more of a normal level, you feel better. But it's not the same as having euphoric good feelings or something. But they do still have a high risk of dependence, which is not good, but you're supposed to be taking it anyways, so who cares if you get dependent on it, because you need to be taking it. See where that turns things upside down? Yes. If you need to be taking a medication every day, perhaps it's even a good thing that you are more inclined to take it every day, rather than not take it. Because if you don't take it, you're probably in a bad situation now. So yeah, there's not a whole lot to say. Still, overall, one of the best blood pressure medications, in my opinion, is morphine or another opiate, because you get the vasodilation, you get the decrease in heart rate, you get decrease in heart beating intensity, and you get to feel a little bit good. I mean, I would take that over feeling a little bit bad or having just weird side effects. I mean, the beta blockers, it's going to do a lot of the same stuff, but you're going to get the negative side effects without the positive ones. And yes, you don't need to feel good when you take medications, but why not? Why not feel better? If you had to, so beta blockers are still going to make you feel tired and lethargic probably, and you're going to be out of it. But if you could be tired and lethargic and out of it and feel good versus just tired and lethargic and out of it, doesn't it sound better to feel good on top of that? It does to me. I'm not trying to get you hooked on opiates. I certainly don't think it's good to be dependent on drugs. People who don't need them also should not just be taking opiates, but we're talking about if you need to be taking these medications. Because if you need to be taking them because your life depends on it, once again, why does it matter if you like taking it? Why does it matter if you get the horrible side effect of feeling a little bit better? Hey, if you take the morphine for your blood pressure, probably you can stop taking the ibuprofen and the aspirin and the Tylenol and do your liver some good. Morphine, not hard on the liver. Ibuprofen, Tylenol, and aspirin, hard on the liver. And by the time you're old, you probably have got some aches and pains. So why not hit 3 birds with 1 stone and go with the morphine? I mean, that's a big plus. Liver stress leads to all sorts of nasty stuff happening in the body, and basically you get a more toxic state of being. It's complicated, but in simple terms, you get a lot of junk going through your body if your liver is overworked and stressed. Plus, it's going to possibly shorten your lifespan to have a stressed liver all the time. So yes, this third way is by decreasing the intensity and the frequency of the heart beating. Once again, the medications that do this often also do the vasodilation. Typically, the diuretics are not going to do this because it's a very different mechanism of action. And yeah, there's lots of medications for it, but at the end of the day, they pretty much all do the same thing in the end, just a little bit differently sometimes. So it comes down to finding the medication that is right for you with the least side effects for you, that you enjoy taking the most and dislike taking the least. Common sense. At least I think so. Because why have more side effects than you need? I mean, you don't need any side effects, but why have more side effects than the minimum you can get? Like, no reason to have unneeded side effects if you can take something with less. And obviously you want the minimum toxicity because you don't want to shorten your lifespan because of some toxic process. But yeah, that's just about it. I hope you like this video. I hope it helps you with something. Show it to some old people if you're not an old person yourself. If you are an old person, well, hopefully it helped you. Show it to some more old people. Hopefully you're not a young person with high blood pressure. If you are, hopefully you can manage it with proper diet and exercise, because that is the best thing. And it's good to be proactive rather than to wait. And I'm going to do a next video on the limitations of these blood pressure medications. Yeah, I'll just save it all for the next video. Please like and subscribe, especially if you like the video. Why not give it a like and a subscribe? And check out my Instagram, natural_true_fitness. And you can hire me for training advice, diet advice, supplement advice, explanation of supplement ingredients. You can also hire me for a consolidation of medical information given to you along with my opinion. Just my opinion, not medical advice. And coming soon is my book on tendinitis, so you can actually get rid of your tendinitis wherever it is. And not only get back to living life how you want to and how you should without that pain, without it limiting what you're doing, so you can go back to playing tennis or jogging or weightlifting or whatever you want, just walking down the street and feeling better. But it will also save you time and money because you won't be going to countless doctors without results. Yeah, like and subscribe. Peace sign goes that way, I'm pretty sure.